How realistic is it to think that the masses are going to go out and get flood insurance and any kind of rebuild in the future? I mean, that low probability, that has to impact the security and the sustainability of any long-term rebuild?
Yeah, very much so. First, let me answer the portion of the question that deals directly with the homeowners that will be required to get flood insurance. In many cases, those structures are in fact in the floodplains, and if the federal government, FEMA, puts rebuilding money into those structures, they have to be brought up to code. And that code includes elevating them above those flood plains, as well as carrying that flood insurance that's necessary for rebuilding. So it's very important to have that flood insurance, but you're right, it can be very difficult for many people to do that. Now, I know that many banks recognize that if a house is in fact in a floodplain, that they require that flood insurance as part of the loan agreement that they do with homeowners. So it is a requirement. And it can be very difficult. Yeah, and we're kind of caught in a catch-22. Imagine that the scientists, the floodplain managers, identify an area that potentially is a floodplain risk, and that's what we're talking about, floodplain risk. Is it correct that they tell those individuals and say get insurance so that they're protected, or do they not do that and then the people get hit and those that could have bought flood insurance didn't have the opportunity to get it? So the lesser of those two evils is to ensure that we tell the folks, you're in a floodplain, you need to get flood insurance. If we haven't invested money into those residences ahead of time, it's up to them to do that. For those houses that we've placed money into, we will cover those costs, I believe, for the first 3 years for them. After that, then it's up to the individuals to carry on with that flood insurance. So sometimes it's hard for those communities to think about the disaster as also an opportunity to rebuild their community bigger, better, and more resilient for the future. I have to tell you that I have never worked with a state where the National Guard has been so deeply involved in all aspects of the response and recovery. And I have never seen a partnership like we have right here that has led to the successes. So I will tell you, from my perspective, the heroes from the top down are right here. Your state does it right.